Hello students, welcome to the fourth session of compression members. Okay, in the previous sessions we have studied about the introduction of compression members, failure criteria for the compression members, and in the third session we have discussed the steps involved in the design of compression members. Okay, so using that previous session knowledge we will design a compression member in today's session. Okay, so here one problem is mentioned here. Look at that problem. A 3-meter long column has to support a factored load of 3600 kilonewton. The column is held effectively at both ends and restrained in direction at only one end. Design the column using I section and plates. Draw the details. Okay, so here a compression member, that is column, is of 3-meter long. The height of the column is 3 meters and it has to support a factored load of 3600 kilonewton. He has not mentioned the service load, he has mentioned the factored load of 3600 kilonewton, and he has given you the support conditions. Okay, it is held effectively at both ends and restrained in direction at only one end. So by using this support condition I can calculate the effective length, that is KL, by using table 10. Okay, so he has also mentioned which sections are to be used as compression members. That is, he has mentioned use I section and plates. That is, combination of I section and plate has to be used for the compression member. So if only I section is there, the standard sections we can select from the steel table. He has mentioned to use plates along with the I section. That makes the section as built up section, right? Okay, so we will start with the design. So let us go with the procedure. First step, what we have: assume design compressive stress. Okay, to know the area of the compression member required to carry the load of 3600 kilonewton, I need to start with some assumption. That is, as first step is assume design compressive stress. FCD 200 newton per mm square is the assumption what we make. So you can check this step in the design procedure which we have studied in the previous session. Okay, so in the second step, what we do, by using the assumed compressive stress I will calculate the area required to carry that much of load. Okay, by using the basic definition of stress is load by area. So area will be load given divided by the compressive stress. So that will give me totally 18,000 mm square of the compression member is required to carry the 3600 kilonewton of load. Next, so referring to the steel table, now I need to select I section. Okay, to satisfy the area of 18,000 mm square. So here I am not only using only a single I section, I am using the plates along with that. That is the combination of I section and plate making a built up section I am using to carry the load of 3600 kilonewton. So I need to choose a section from steel table such that it has to satisfy minimum of 50 to 60% of this area 18,000 mm square, and remaining area has to be matched up with the plates provided to I section. Okay, so here what I will do, referring to the steel table, I will select the I section ISHB. Okay, keep in mind for columns with heavier loads like 3000 4000 kilonewton, you have to select ISHB member, that is Indian Standard Heavy Beams, ISHB members. Okay, here I am selecting ISHB 350 at 661 newton per meter. That is the weight of the member per meter length, that is 661 newton. You can check the steel table. Okay, there you will get ISHB 350 at 661 newton per meter, the area of which is 8591 mm square. Okay, so This is the area of I section. Next I need to calculate the area of plates required to satisfy 18,000 mm square. That is, area to be provided by plates is 18,000 minus the area of I section. So the plates shall be provided to the I section such that the area of the plates shall be equal to 9,409 mm square. Okay, so I will select 16 mm thick plate. Okay, so thickness I will assume. Width of the plate I will be calculating something like this. So width into thickness will give you the area. So totally two plates I will provide, something like this. You can check the figure here. I section is there, one plate at the top and one plate at the bottom I will provide, and I will make it as a built up section, right? So width into thickness will give you the area, that is 2b into thickness I have assumed, that is 16 mm. Okay, that has to give you 9,409 mm square. So the width of the plate works out to be 294 mm. So I will provide 300 mm wide and 16 mm thick plate. So here you can check the sections what I have calculated, I have indicated in terms of figure here. Okay, so I section is there, ISHB 350. The depth of I section is 350 here. Width of the web and so width of thickness of the web and thickness of the flange is shown here, and the plates used at the top and bottom flange of the I section is shown here. 300 mm wide plate which is of 16 mm thick. Okay, so the total area of this compression member will be written here. Actual area is 8591, that is the area of I section, plus 2, that are 2 plates of 300 mm wide and 16 mm thick. The area works out to be 18,191 mm square. You can check which is written towards the left of the figure. Okay, 18,191 mm square is the area of this built up section, which consists of I section along with the covering plates. Okay, so this satisfies the area of 18,000 mm square, which is required to carry the load of 3,600 kilonewton. Okay, next, in the next step I need to calculate radius of gyration. Okay, to calculate the slenderness ratio of the section I require radius of gyration. So radius of gyration is square root of moment of inertia divided by the area of the section. So from steel table I can get the radius of gyration in x direction and y direction for the I section considered directly, whereas for plates, okay, I need to calculate it separately. Okay, so the radius of gyration of this built up section is radius of gyration of the I section plus radius of gyration of the plates. Okay, so from steel table for ISHB section, ISHB 350, okay, we have IXX value 19159.7 into 10 raised to 4 mm raised to 4, and in IYY 2451.4 into 10 raised to 4 mm raised to 4. Okay, so for the built up section, okay, the total IXX will be IXX of the I section plus IXX of the plate. In YY direction, IYY of the I section plus IY of the plate. So IXX of the built up section is IXX of the I section, that is 19159, plus plate in XX direction, the moment of inertia in X direction is 2 into a y bar square, correct? Sorry, x bar square. 2 into 300 into 16 will give you the area. Okay, and x bar will be 350 divided by 2. Okay, plus 8 mm. You can check the figure here. The total depth is 350 divided by 2. You will reach at the center of the section, that is xx, plus 8 mm, plus 8 is at the center of the plate I am considering it here. Okay, so I will get the IXX for whole section, that is for the built up section what I have considered. In YY direction also it is same. IYY of the I section, that is 2451.4 into 10 to 4, that we get it from steel table, plus 2 into BD cube by 12 for the rectangular section. Okay, that will give you Iyy. So now I need to calculate radius of gyration, which is minimum. It may be minimum along x direction or y direction. So I need to calculate r minimum. So that will be minimum along the direction where your moment of inertia is minimum. So you can check it here. Out of Ixx and Iyy, we have the minimum moment of inertia in y direction. So that I have used radius of gyration r minimum is equal to square root of Iyy divided by the total area of the built up section. That will give you r minimum for me. Okay, next step. For the given support condition, referring to table 11, I will calculate KL, that is 0.8 L. 3 meter is the total length of the compression member. Okay, 0.8 into 3000 will give you KL, 2400 mm. So in the next step, I will calculate the slenderness ratio, KL by R minimum, that is 32.95. Okay, since the radius of gyration is minimum along y axis, the section buckles along y axis. Okay, so referring to table 10, since the section is considered as built up section, buckling class is C. Refer table 10. In the table 10, at the last you have built up section column. In built up section column, buckling about y axis or x axis, buckling about any axis, the buckling class is C given. In table 10 you can refer it from IS 800. For only I section, if you have only I section or only channel section, you need to calculate the criteria given there to calculate the buckling class. But for built up section, the last section given in table 10, for built up sections, buckling class is C always. It may be buckling about x axis or y axis. Okay, so now I know buckling axis as well as buckling class. Okay, referring to table 9, where the table 9 is for buckling class C. Okay, I have KL by R minimum value and Fy value. I will calculate the design compressive stress of the member considered. Okay, KL by R minimum I have Fy 250 Newton per mm square. By doing the interpolation, I will calculate the design compressive stress of the member considered, that is 207.19 Newton per mm square. And the last step is, by using this design compressive stress of the member, I will calculate the load carrying capacity of this section. Load carrying capacity of this section considered. The design compressive stress for this section is 207.19 I have got. Okay, the load carrying capacity of that section will be design compressive stress into area. Correct, that is the basic definition of stress. Stress is load by area. Correct, so load carried by the section is design compressive stress into area, that is 3768 kilonewton, which is greater than the given load, that is 3600 kilonewton. Therefore the section what I have considered for the compression member design is safe. Okay, so these 7 steps shall be followed to design a compression member whenever a specified load is given. Okay, thank you.